production front, but man, it takes time to get to a place to where not only are you being recognized for your productions, but you're getting asked to be booked out of not only just in your own state even.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Especially in a day when there's so many producers and so many DJs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So initially it's fun. I mean, we tour the world now, like and we're only 3 years into this, but 3 years ago we were like literally we were old school. Like we would go out for promoters around the city and flyer for them to get opening spots, and I mean, we were willing to do anything. We weren't above anything. We were humble and we were lowly and we were meek and we were hardworking guys. We didn't have big egos and acting like we were rock stars before we were rock stars, and we still don't. You know, we try to keep grounded, cool guys that anybody can talk to and approach. I mean, we just think that there's too many egos in this industry anyway. You know what I mean? So we were blessed, is what I'm trying to say, to make it through that year, and then to be able to start generating a decent amount of income so that we could pay the bills. And then, you know, about that second, third year, things just started taking off, you know. And this last year, they've just exploded, you know, with the album and, you know, the international touring.
Snowball effect.
It did, and you know, the signing to AM Only for North America, and you know, we're with Assured Artists for our global stuff. It really took off, and we were talking about this with the interview we just did before. When we were doing the album, it all kind of came together at once. Like right when we were finishing and doing the album, we really kind of found our sound and found our way, and we all of a sudden the tracks that we were playing in the clubs matched the tracks that we were producing in the studio, and there wasn't that disconnect. You know what I mean? And it all kind of came together in a really good time. So whatever you call that, man, fate, magic, I don't know, it happened, you know what I mean? And that's where we are today. You know?
They come to our fan page. Like with the technology that we have, the tools, internet stuff, Facebook, whatever you want to call it, we have so much more opportunity now to really live a dream. You know what I mean? And you guys said before that you're both working beforehand because you didn't know if it was going to take off and what it is, and you know, 3 years later, what have you, now the snowball exponential things come into play, and now you guys are touring all this kind of stuff. So why don't you tell everybody, not exactly, but pretty much, you know, what does it take for you to get where you want to be? Because we have a lot of DJs, we have a lot of producers that are on the website and whatnot, and they're looking for inspiration.
Of course.
You know, so
yeah, we both have a lot of words we can share on that. Dave, you want to touch base?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, one thing is a lot of hard work. You can't just like walk away from a project and think that that's it. I mean, sometimes you have to come back to it.
A lot of hard work.
It's
like,
a ton
let's
of hard
re-emphasize
work.
that.
Yeah, I mean, don't take that lightly. A ton. Like, there are times where we thought that we just were not giving it enough. I mean, we still can give it more.
Yeah.
And so, I mean,
we still, in our third year, we're 6 days a week in the studio.
Yeah, we're 6 days a week. We wake up 9, crack on until about 5 or 6 p.m., sometimes even going on until 11 p.m. at night. And, you know, sometimes we still don't get it until later in the week, you know, and sometimes it's good to have patience for your tracks and to make sure that, you know, you at least explore all your creative routes. And, I mean, patience is a virtue.
Yeah, and I think
really,
too, like, we always thought that, like, we were going to get that big track and then all of a sudden everything would just fall into place.
Exactly.
And it doesn't happen like that.
No way.
Like, you got to have, in today's industry, with as many artists and producers and DJs as there are out there, you got to have a lot of good tracks consistently in a row. So don't worry about, you know, is this track going to be what makes me whatever you think in your head that's going to be? Or if you're a DJ, that this gig's going to make me the DJ that I'm going to be. You need to be thinking, you know, long term, am I acquiring the skill set and the tool set in order to do this for a long time? And if you feel insecure about any of those areas, I suggest that you that you take online tutorials are everywhere right now with YouTube. Like if you're a producer, Ableton Live has them all over the internet. There's all sorts of books. Like when I was in college, I did electives and did audio engineering, electronic composition, synthesis composition, and took classes on the side. And even after I graduated UT, when Dave was in town, we had a professor in Austin. Shout out to you, Francis Prep. He's also a producer on Toolroom Records and produces with Gabriel and Dresden and stuff. But he teaches in Austin, and we did some one-on-one lessons with him. Even after we were successful to learn new ways of creating sound design, and even today, like on the plane ride over, I do tutorials on my iPad. I'm always trying to like learn new tips and tricks on mastering and on things that you can do in Logic. And I think what I'm trying to say is that never think that you've learned it all or that you've got it all. You always got to stay hungry for your craft. If you think about doctors and attorneys and stuff, they're always taking new updated courses and getting updated on the new litigation or the new medical terminology and stuff. You always have to be developing your craft. Attack it on two fronts if you're an artist or a DJ. There's the production and then there's the DJing. And I think a lot of producers think that I'm going to be a superstar producer kid and I'm not going to have to work. DJing is just going to happen all of a sudden overnight. Sometimes it does. I think it happened for Deadmau5. I think there's a few wonder kids out there that really had so many hits in a row that they just shot off into Never Never Land. But for guys like us, we had to be producing our little butts off, and then at night we were, like I said, we were going and passing out flyers. We were hustling, and you gotta hustle. You know what I mean? And
I mean, so all in all, it's not necessarily the DJ gigs that are going to book you if you want to do it. It's your production.
And look, a lot of Dave and I, we don't. People get into this EDM scene a lot too because of the party life and stuff. Like, let me just tell you, straight offhand, if you're serious about your production and about your DJing, that stuff can sidetrack you quick. Like, going out and having a good time is cool, but if you're doing that too much, it's going to cloud your mind and it's going to cloud your brain, and you're not going to be able to focus and function and be creative the way you need to be in the studio, and you're not going to have the motivation and drive to be able to achieve the things that you need to achieve. And from our perspective, like things like working out and running and doing healthy stuff and getting good sleep and eating right, you may laugh and think, ha ha ha, that's Mr. Rogers stuff, but it's not. Like, if you just got off a tour, we just got off a plane coming back from Korea, we're wiped out. We haven't drank a single thing. We got to be in the studio the next morning doing air up there, finish on with our Caillou and Albert remix and all these other things. You think Caillou and Albert are going to be happy when we turn in a shitty remix because we were fucked up all weekend, smoking out? No. There's no time for that, and there's too many artists in line who are ready to do a good job. So I don't say that to get up in anybody's butt. I'm just saying from a realistic point of view, it's hard. And if you like you're saying, you can achieve the dream. That said, it's not easy. It is possible, but you got to be willing to work hard, be willing to learn and grow, and being able to hustle, like you're saying, and be humble and work hard.
That's what it took for us.
Yeah,
that's what it took.
I mean, what they just said is really across the board for anybody that is successful. Being healthy, exercising, just focusing, learning, all that stuff they just said. You can ask any millionaire and any billionaire, and you'll hear the same thing that they just said. Exactly. Because I've talked to other people that are on that same level as you guys.